Good morning, everyone. EagleX from ATX EagleX Gaming here today, and I have a video of something that I thought was really cool. My locals loved it, and this is something that I consider could be a brand new format in Digimon. But before we get started, if you guys enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It lets me know I'm going in the right direction for the type of content you guys enjoy. With that being said, let's get started. So basically what my locals have been doing lately is we've had a lot of popper locals. This has been a way that we've used to kind of break up the format. Since BT13 is going to be a very long format, we wanted to keep it feeling fresh, stop the staleness from the meta decks, and give some other cards time to shine. So what is the Popper format? For anyone who's never played TCGs before, Popper is a format referring to a format where you can only use commons and uncommons. Basically, if a card sparkles or is hard to get, you typically don't include it in the Popper deck. What we did for our Popper locals is we run a standard ban list, or we don't run the standard ban list. It's lifted because the top end payoffs for most of the cards aren't there. So you have your HPD, Argomon, Blossomon, all at 4 copies, Jet Sylphie reinforcing, because it's already a slower format, and with the restriction list released, it really doesn't change the pace that crazy much. There is one really cool deck that does abuse one of the restricted cards I'll show off here in just a moment, but you will have the normal quantity of 4 cards, copies of a card in each deck unless it specifies otherwise, like Aosmon, ADR Searcher, and Venmon if you really want to go that route. But you just have to remember, no rares are allowed, it's commons, uncommons only. So, what we do in this format, we had a big tournament recently where we had a 4-round locals to get to 1 undefeated Swiss player, and all the topping lists were super unique. Everyone was hyping up Jumbo Gamimon to be like the meta deck to beat, but it was not the deck that won the tournament. So you can see our first place list is this Anubismon, Eismon, Gizemon Rush list. Because you're summoning a lot of things from the grave, you will have Rush. You have a boss monster that has a payoff from all the discarded monsters that summon themselves from the grave. The Pinamon egg is kind of a little funny story. The person realized he forgot his purple eggs at home, and that was the only set of purple eggs he can have access to. So you could make it a little bit more efficient with Demi-Marimons or other purple synergistic cards. But this was the list he ended up winning our 4-round Popper locals with. Second place was a really cool list. We had a King Edamon deck. It is Poop and Mice and Poop. As you can see here, lots of the core cards are commons and uncommons for this deck. But one really cool card that I love featured in these decks for Popper is Maki. Maki is a tamer that searches for a black Tapirmon, or not black, it searches for a Tapirmon, which could be any color. It could be yellow, black, or purple Tapir, and then a 2-colored black card. And because everything in this deck is basically a 2-colored black card, you have access to a lot more tutoring. And then you have your removal, you still have your efficient Evo lines, and then you do run the Kari Fixer. There's only 2 fixers in Popper, yellow and blue, and it's honestly not as relevant as people would think offhand, because you're more focused on your consistency and your turbo. So you'd rather be searching with the memory than playing a fixer, or you'd rather be turboing up if you can do that instead. The third place list we had was a Vikemon Source Strip Control, because Jumbo Gambe was going to be the hyped up deck. Stripping sources was the most efficient way to respond to that. So Sorai, Innocence, Blizzard, Howling, Memory Boost, and even Vikemon are all ways to answer sourceless, or to make Digimon become sourceless and not have any guys to special summon with. And moving on to our 4th place list, we had a yellow hybrid alliance deck using Jet Sylphie, not just 1 copy. You can run up to 4 copies in Popper, but this was one of the other unique builds we saw using the Suchong Wong engine with yellow Kari. You're able to always have your hybrids online, you can cheat out your Lotmons, and then you have the alliance engine to make 1 big piercing attack with the lightning blade. If you have a 2-colored Digimon, you can give it piercing and 2000 DP, so it gave you ways to answer Jumbo Gambe by swinging and piercing over it. And then our 5th place list from our Popper locals was a Jumbo Gambe list. This one was the black blocker base build. There's 3 builds. You have chest build, poop build, and the blocker build. And this was the most successful one of them all. I think it got 5th and 6th place, very similar builds and ratios. But with that being said, if you guys enjoy this idea of a new format you can play in Digimon, let me know in the comments below. My locals love this, and we'll probably be revisiting this format again. This was like our 4th iteration of it, and we'll probably come back again here in about a format or two just to see how it evolves with new cards in the card pool. That being said, take care and have a nice one.